sold this idea, right? This idea that building real, generational wealth requires some brilliant, glamorous, world-changing startup idea. But what if the people waking up every single morning with fresh money hitting their bank accounts aren't tech geniuses pulling all-nighters in a Silicon Valley garage? What if instead they're just executing incredibly boring, everyday businesses? Today, we're pulling back the curtain to reveal the massive, hidden power of the boring wealth paradigm. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with number 1, the myth of brilliant ideas. 2, discomfort equals low competition. 3, profiting from space and stuff. 4, riches in specialized niches. 5, buying instead of building. And finally, number 6, the recurring revenue rule. All right, let's jump right into part 1, the myth of brilliant ideas. We've all seen the viral stories of tech founders starting out in a garage and just, changing the world. But let's be real. Chasing that 1 in a million app idea is downright exhausting. It's high risk, it's fiercely competitive, and it is entirely unproven. You're just constantly battling this anxiety, trying to invent something totally new out of thin air. But on the flip side, look at a boring laundromat. It's totally predictable. You aren't fighting off cutthroat venture capitalists, and the cash flow is actually proven. It's essentially the peace of executing something old versus the total panic of inventing something new. Moving right along to section 2, discomfort equals low competition. Here's a fascinating truth. The ugliest, most physically demanding services out there are the exact ones that ambitious people actively run away from. Take commercial window cleaning, for example. Simply overcoming the fear of heights can literally bring in between $400 and $1,000 a day. Or think about pest control or portable restrooms. You aren't out there chasing glory, locking in automatic renewals and incredibly stable recurring corporate contracts. Because these jobs feel so deeply unglamorous, your typical Ivy League graduates completely ignore them, and that leaves the market wide open for you. To put this into perspective, look at this staggering number, $34.86 billion. That's the projected value of the global portable restroom rental market by 2030. I mean, let's be honest, absolutely nobody dreams of owning portable toilets when they grow up. But every single construction site, every county fair, and every outdoor music festival desperately needs them. So the big takeaway here is that these businesses do not require a genius intellect. They really just require a willingness to do what other people find, distasteful. In this paradigm, discomfort isn't an obstacle at all. It's actually the exact barrier to entry that keeps your competitors out and aggressively protects your bottom line. Let's dive into section 3, profiting from space and stuff. You don't even need to sell a physical product to make serious money. Whether it's ATMs in high-traffic areas, heavy equipment rentals, or self-storage, you are essentially buying an asset one time and then getting paid continuously just for granting people permission to use it. Take self-storage, for instance. It isn't just for dusty old furniture anymore. It's basically become this silent, essential infrastructure for small e-commerce businesses that need a place to hold their inventory. Look at this number, $600,000. That is the annual revenue an operator can generate from just 5 small parking lots in a commercial area. Think about that for a second. There is no product to restock. There's no customer service desk you have to man. It is almost entirely passive. You are literally pulling a premium income out of thin air, simply because you own a patch of empty pavement on a high-demand corner. The true value of a vending machine actually isn't the soda or the chips inside. It's the right to stand on a $0 patch of floor 24 hours a day in a busy gym or an office building. You are monetizing the invisible problem of inconvenience and turning empty square footage into a daily cash register. All right, let's move on to section 4, riches and specialized niches. The secret here is that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to point a traditional trade in a hyper-specific direction. Take bookkeeping. You're really just selling peace of mind to business owners who absolutely despise doing paperwork. Or electrical work. By focusing exclusively on installing EV charging stations, electricians are commanding massive premium rates. Instead of being a generalist fighting everybody else for scraps, you solve one urgent problem better than anyone else. And speaking of incredible reliability in these mundane spaces, get a load of this, 95%. That is the jaw-dropping 5-year survival rate of coin laundromats in the United States. Compare that to opening a trendy, exciting new restaurant, which we all know has a notoriously high failure rate. People are always going to need to wash their clothes. That demand doesn't care about the economy, and it doesn't change with new technology. Because when you solve a highly specific, very boring problem, you suddenly gain ultimate pricing power. Think about a plumber who specializes strictly in commercial kitchens. If a restaurant pipe bursts at 2 a.m. on a busy Friday night, that owner is not jumping on Google to shop around for a bargain, right? They need it fixed instantly. By being irreplaceable in that exact moment of sheer panic, you entirely stop competing on price. This brings us to a huge paradigm shift in Section 5, buying instead of building. What if you didn't even start the business yourself? What if the smartest way to play the game is to just skip the starting line entirely? This is called the acquisition path. Instead of trying to find your very first customer from scratch, you identify a boring business, say a commercial cleaning service or a franchise, that already has proven existing cash flow. You buy it, and you simply execute the existing instruction manual. Someone else has already made all those expensive beginner mistakes for you. You just step right in to manage a machine that is already printing money. Author Walker Deibel hits the nail on the head here. Buying an existing business with proven cash flow is typically a much faster, much less risky path to financial freedom than starting from absolute zero. You don't have to lie awake at night staring at the ceiling wondering if your business model even works. You already know it works. You're just taking over the reins. And finally, we arrive at Section 6, the recurring revenue rule. There's this one ultimate secret that ties all these seemingly completely different businesses together, and it's beautifully summed up by author Morgan Housel. Humans are just naturally wired to chase excitement, innovation, and status. It's in our DNA. That's exactly why most people miss these boring opportunities. But wealth isn't built on excitement. Wealth is built on consistency. Simple things, repeating dependably, month after month, year after year. Let's look at our real-world application of this. We've got Daniel and Alex. Now, Daniel worked incredibly hard, but he chased the exciting. He competed on this hyper-crowded playing field with thousands of other ambitious founders trying to build totally unique apps. And today, at 41, he's exhausted and still tied to a day job. Alex, on the other hand, built the boring. He bought a 15-year-old laundromat and tossed a couple of vending machines into a local gym. Today, he's financially free, quite literally making money while he sleeps. Alex won because he chose a playing field so utterly unglamorous that he had it almost entirely to himself. So I want to leave you with this ultimate filter for any future endeavor you pursue. If you sell a popsicle, you earn money once. But if you rent out the popsicle cart,